Something I've been thinking about a lot recently is getting my master's degree while I'm still young. This weekend, I was at the beach with my mom and my girlfriend. My girlfriend was talking about finishing her degree. She said that after graduating, she doesn't really have any plans to continue with her education. Then my mom looked at me and asked, "Are you planning on getting a master's degree?" My answer was no. Right now, I feel like I'm learning enough at my current job. Every day I feel like I'm constantly moving. Every project teaches me something new. It feels like every day builds just a little bit more momentum. Momentum that honestly feels unstoppable. But after thinking about it, it made me ask myself a different question. What would actually make me decide to enroll in a master's program? And if I did, and if I did, which master's degree would even be right for me? I've researched this topic a few times over the years. Along the way, I've learned a few things that might help anyone else wondering the same question. Number one, the types of master degrees. When it comes to engineering, there's really two major paths, the technical route and in the management route. Since those careers require completely different skill sets, they also require different degrees. If you want to become a technical expert, you usually have two options, a Master's of Science or a Master of Engineering. A Master's of Science is almost like a smaller version of a PhD. You'll spend more time doing research, working in laboratories, completing a thesis, and working under professors who specialized in your field. If you're more interested in industry, then a Master of Engineering is usually a better fit. It's much more application focused. Instead of writing a thesis, you'll usually complete a large engineering project, same education level, and just a different emphasis. Then there's the management path, the MBA, or Master of Business Administration. I've honestly had mixed feelings about this degree over the years. I've heard everything from it completely changed my career to it felt like filling in coloring books. I don't want to criticize MBAs too much because for the right person, they're incredibly valuable. If the goal is leading teams, managing organizations, or even becoming an executive, an MBA teaches a completely different set of skills. These people understand engineering well enough, but their real job is coordinating people, managing projects, allocating resources, and helping entire organizations become more efficient. They may not do every technical calculation themselves, but the decisions they make determine whether an entire business succeeds. Number two, how is it different from undergrad? One thing I've consistently heard is that master's programs feel completely different from undergrad, especially on the technical side. People tell me that classes are actually useful. They're much more applicable to industry, and they directly relate to the work that they do every day. I definitely didn't feel that way during undergrad. There were plenty of classes where I kept asking, where am I even going to use this? And honestly, sometimes the answer was never. A master's degree is much more specialized. You're diving deep into one area that actually interests you, which makes the learning feel much more meaningful. MBA programs are a little different. Some engineers tell me they feel less technical, more like psychology, economics, finance, leadership, and management. The math isn't usually calculus. Instead, you're learning how organizations work, how people think, how to resolve conflicts, and how to motivate teams, and ultimately how to lead. Number three is cost. Cost is another major factor. Master's degrees vary a lot. I've seen programs around $20,000 and others well over $50,000. But unlike undergrad, many companies actually help pay for them. Some employers offer tuition reimbursement. They'll pay for classes as long as you meet certain grade requirements. It's a win for both sides. You gain valuable skills, and the company gets a more capable employee. Plus, once you earn the degree, it's yours forever, even if you change companies. Of course, there's usually a catch. Many companies require you to stay for several years afterward, or they require you've worked there for a certain amount of time before even qualifying for that reimbursement. And probably the biggest challenge is balancing school with a full time job. Working 40 hours a week and then studying at night is no small commitment. That's why I keep going back and forth on whether I should pursue one. My undergraduate degree was an easy decision, but a master's isn't nearly as obvious. The biggest question for me is what I would actually study. Long term, I want to move from the aerospace manufacturing side of things into more of the space industry side of things. I've always been fascinated by satellites and orbital infrastructure and space technology. Those are fields that I think will become incredibly important over the next few decades. But because it's such a specialized field, it's hard to justify while working for an employer that isn't directly involved in it. And even if I eventually moved into the space industry, would a master's actually give me the advantage I think it would? I think it's easy to search online, read articles, watch videos, and ask Reddit, but I don't think that's enough. I think you need to talk to real people, people who have already had the career you want, because they're the ones who truly understand whether that degree actually made a difference. A master's degree affects your life in ways that undergrad never really did. You're balancing school with a career, relationships, family, fitness, and everything else. For me, it would mean balancing this YouTube channel, the gym, friends, my girlfriend, and a full time engineering job. So here's my plan going forward. Number one, talk to as many people as possible in the space industry, especially people working in positions I'd like to have someday. If they pursued a master's, why? If they didn't, why not? Number two, research my company's tuition reimbursement plan. See exactly what's covered and what the requirements are. And number three, if I decide it's worth doing, build time into my daily routine. Because if I'm going to commit to a master's degree, I want to get everything I possibly can out of it. Those are my thoughts on pursuing a master's degree as an engineer. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Did you decide to pursue one? Or did you skip it? Let me know why down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.